Hello there guys, and welcome to part 2 of the Let's Talk Cavalry series for Total War Shogun 2 Follow the Samurai expansion. Here we go. Today in part 2, we're going to start out with a replay sent by, oh my god, Scotty Rar. He's playing with Unicorn Attack against the Grognard and Eliminator from the Irons Clan, and this is on the Jiko Kudanai Valley. Great map for cavalry. Artillery can be very potent on this map as well, so both sort of artillery-based and cav-based armies can sort of be expected here. So last time we saw the ability of cav to be used sort of in double-pronged attacks, attacking in two different areas at the same time, throwing your opponent's line into a very sort of disorganized state, and then we saw using your cavalry as the spear tip of your army and sort of driving it through into one position. But if anything, the most important thing we learned in last part is that cavalry needs to have a purpose in this game. You can't sort of just have your cavalry and just be responsive. Or no, you want to be responsive, but you don't want to just be a sitting duck. You always sort of want to try to take the initiative if you're bringing a lot of cav. And you always want to dissect your opponent as soon as you can and bring your cavalry's edge in numbers or in quality and use it in a right manner. So let's take a look here. Our players, the good guys in this battle, Unicorn and oh my god, Scotty Rar. Well, what do they see? They see an enemy that is pretty much hiding. There's his general. They see three heavily upgraded cav units, Yariki, and a Yariki. Over here on the right side, they see more cavalry, 2 Yariki, again, another Yariki, so 3 Yariki in total. They see an artillery piece that basically has sight on pretty much everything, except behind this hill, where, oh my god, Scotty Rar's forces can be sitting. They do have a carbine cavalry that could be perhaps used for some sort of dead angle attacking. You can bring them in from the side and hit right outside of your line infantry's range. Like you can see, the line infantry can only shoot so much to the side. So if you bring in a carbine cav unit over here, for example, and shoot at them, they can't do anything without turning around. And then you can pull back, reload, and do the same thing. So that's the power of carbine cavalry, but more on that later. So our team doesn't really have that much of a cav advantage. They have one more Yariki unit. And they have a very strong line contingent, but not numerous enough. You know, they brought a lot of cav to sort of complement their armies. But now look what they're going to do. This is very curious. We're going to put this in slow motion and maybe pause at different points. So look at this. Oh my god, Scotty Rar sends one cav unit. Look at this one cav unit. It's going to hold 3 units in place. Same thing is happening here by Unicorn. 1 unit to hold 3 units in place. Now look at this. Grognar from the Irons Clan is going to see what they're trying to do. He's going to turn around. Now a second unit from oh my god, Scotty Rar hits this cav blob. But this is what we want to focus on. Okay? Right here. They essentially threw away 1, 2, 3 cav units. This one cav unit here is being mismicroed. And what purpose do they have? Well, the purpose of this charge, ladies and gentlemen, is keep your eyes peeled on this Yariki unit. It's going to come around this general. It's not going for the general. It's going for this Armstrong gun. And look at this. This Armstrong gun is now out of the picture. So, in a position like this, when all that they had really was knowledge on this player's army, they looked at his, they were like, okay, let's see what he's got. Okay, very heavily upgraded infantry to marine, okay. 2 white bear infantry, okay. Tosa riflemen, okay. Some cav, okay. And an artillery piece. Well, this is a relatively weak line. I can overwhelm it if I fight it head on. I've got more numbers here. My ally can support me with some of his troops here. He's got Shogunate infantry and Imperial infantry on my flank. If we can get rid of this artillery piece soon in the game, while taking out some of our opponent's cav, we should be golden. And that's exactly what they did. They sacrificed their cavalry, and by doing that, they removed Grognar's own cavalry, and they removed the artillery piece from the equation. And now look, this Yariki unit is not done. It's going to continue hitting, and now it's going to hit Grognar's general. and it's gonna leave the other Irons player with some cav. That is true. But remember, these units were also hit by another unit, another cav unit from Unicorn Attack. So, if you wanted an example of purpose and you know, thinking on your feet, being very responsive, and using the fact that your cavalry can move very, very quickly and deliver potent charges in different places in the battlefield, this was it. That's all I wanted to show in this battle. The ability of these players to see a threat and to react to it. And you know, this is something that you can only do really with cavalry. They neutralized the other enemy cav, not particularly killed them. They in fact lost a lot of their cav. They lost all of their cav. But they took out major components of one player's army, and now you can see from the minimap, they are going to be hitting him. Unicorn Attack still has some cav of his own over here at the back that he didn't commit. So these can even be used at later points in time. Imperial Guard Cavalry, both of them. Imperial Guard and a Hierarchy. So these can be used to sort of harass in any way you want. And you know, this is sort of why I'm going to stop here. It's because now they can do whatever they wanted, really, and pretty much secure a victory. He's got a Carbine Cavalry. He's got some Imperial Guard Cav. They just have to stay away from these 3 hurt cav units, and they should be good. In terms of numbers, they've got it. In terms of positioning, they've got it. And in terms of an initial battle advantage, they have got it. So great replay submitted by Oh My God Skydirar. Thank you for your submission. And now we're going to move on to the next battle. And the next one was actually sent by, let's see here. This was sent to me by Violent Peace and Illusion. And they sent me 2 replays, but I'm actually going to show this match against the WOC clan in this 2v2. Nishizawa Valley. They're playing against Alpertunga and Sergeant Dennis. And it's Illusionist and Violent Peace from the G clan. So, we saw how using your cavalry with a purpose is really the best way to use them. Sometimes you can bring cav as sort of an answer to your opponent's cav, as an anti-cav force. At other times, you can bring your cav, just like the last battle actually. Like the last battle where with Unicorn and, who was it? Sorry. Oh My God, Skydirar, that's it. They brought their cav really what it looked like to be an anti-cav force, and then they used them very, very, very well to sort of get rid of the artillery. So we've seen a cav that engages very, very straightforwardly in a headstrong attack. We've seen a cav force that is used to counter your enemy's cav, and then you find a purpose to it and you neutralize your enemy's cav and you hit directly. And then we saw a cav that is sort of used to pave the way for your rush army. And all of those were very, very nice ways to use your cavalry. But now let's see in a situation like this, what the G clan can do. So one player, obviously here, Illusionist, has gone very, very heavy on the cav. And you know, this is something that may look like sort of like a cheap cheesing kind of thing, where it's like, oh wow, you spammed cav. Well, I don't think it's a chance, because on this map in particular, there's a very, very large hill in the middle, as you can see, and then there's a river around here. So getting a lot of cav means that if you can get them to the top of the hill, well, you can just guess what's going to happen. Then you're able to, 1, secure the hill for yourself, and 2, maybe even have your units hide on the ridge and rush your opponent's line infantry down as they run up. Sure, you'll take some casualties, but the end result will be that you and your opponent, you and your ally have destroyed your opponent's own lines, and probably neutralize their own cavalry, which are probably going to be used to counteract your maneuvers, which is exactly what we're seeing here by the WEC players. Here they go, red flags and orange flags are going to start trying to counteract purple and blue. And now, a Violent Violent Peace is going to run down here with his most veteran cav unit, and this is a Yariki, and they're going to slam right down. So he's going to hold these cav down, and now look at this. Illusionist is going to send his own cav as well to do some sort of holding maneuver. And now they're going to send the rest of their cav down the hill. Hold your opponent's units in place. Charge them in for the charge bonus. Hold your opponent's unit in place. charge in for another charge bonus. And that's what they're doing here across the line. And that is going to absolutely devastate their opponent's cav. Not only are they outmatched in terms of how veteran they are, but they're also in a very, very bad position. And you can see here, Illusionist sending his cav in from the side. They actually didn't take many casualties because there are a lot of trees. One unit took the sort of blunt of the damage, 30 units dead. And this unit of Infantry de Marine, a very, very excellent target for your cav charges. This unit is gonna just be absolutely destroyed. So here we go. Their cav now still doing some damage to this unit. It's being rallied by the general. But both of the players here have broken through their enemy's cav and now headed for these key targets. And this is leading excellently into the next point, which is obviously your cav's ability to charge. But you don't want to just charge any unit. You want to find juicy targets. A general, heavy, elite, you know, a morale affecting unit. You either stop it from attacking or you take it down. Take out generals, take out artillery pieces like we saw in the last battle. A standard line infantry unit, even though it might be a good attack target for your cavalry, always try to find the most expensive unit and a unit that can sort of cause you a lot of pain. They haven't brought a lot of line infantry. They do have some elite units of their own, but in terms of just standard line infantry, they don't have much. So, you know, generals, elite units, that kind of thing they need to take out, and they've done this well so far. They've used their cav to secure the map control and to secure the map position. So another different way to sort of use your cavalry. And as I said in part 1, we can't really survey all the different ways to use their cav, but as I'm trying to do here, is to sort of give you an idea of you know, different ways that you can use your cav maybe, and sort of key elements where we can use our cav to the best of their ability. So you can see here, they're lining up nicely, they're using some nice micro, pulling back, using the ridges, and you can see they've pulled this one Shogutai completely out of the fight that's chasing this white bear infantry. And this is, okay, I guess. Lined up in positions where they can get crossfire. I would have moved some troops up here maybe, but we'll see what happens. But keep an eye out on the cav. After that initial charge, that sort of decimated orange out of the battlefield, purple here, who is a violent piece who did submit the replay, still has some cav left. You can see he has cav at the front and have a cav at the back. And now just look what he's going to do. Again, finds a juicy target, Royal Marines. It's going to hit them, pull back right out. Doesn't want to get shot by that unit. Right? And now he's going to wait there. Look, he's got more cav hidden. Right? Now watch. Watch what he's going to do with his cavalry. Look. He waited for the spears and the Shogutai to move out. He's going to move across the hill. Blindsided. These units are absolutely blindsided. They're going to do nothing. They're just going to sit there and take it. Watch. They're having the engagement in the center. He's going to move his troops in from behind. Wait, what is he doing? Oh, I could have sworn he was going to move them there. There we go. He's going to move in from the sides. I think his opponent did reline up his troops. Indeed. See, very smart here by the WOC player. He sort of turned his units around in time, and he's going to shoot these cav that are coming from a bad position. They should have charged them here as soon as they could. But now with that unit, maybe that attack wasn't successful, but this attack is going to be successful here. Here come the cav. Strike at the infantry de marine from the back. Take them out. And this is going to leave the G players standing in an advantage. So we saw some sort of stumble here. But overall, very good use of cav. They used their cav very aggressively in this fight. Sort of sent their troops forward. Engaged the enemy cav. And they just cleaned up. They kept some cav units in reserve. And then they used these later with some nice line infantry micro. They actually did a decent job. So let's go ahead and pause here and try to give you a little bit of a summary of what we did today. Well, we take a look at 4 different sort of aspects of cavalry. Their mobility, their ability to establish map control, their ability to do little bits of harassment here and there. Maybe we didn't get too many good examples, unfortunately. We would have loved to have some sort of skirmish cavalry example where someone uses their carbine cav or their Imperial Guard cav sort of from the wings. Maybe we'll do another episode just for that sort of purpose, skirmishing. And we finally talked about the abilities Cav to charge. Just remember, when you're using Cav, always have a purpose, either an offensive or a defensive one. Always try to be responsive to your opponent. You don't want your Cav to sort of blob into one position. You just double click them in one location, just leave them there. You got to move your Cav around. You got to use the fact that they can, yeah, sure, you might take a little bit more casualties with one unit, but then you can use another unit to sort of swing around in Cav versus Cav engagements, for example, and hit it. And this also applies to normal charge. And another key thing is when you see an opening, charge with your cavalry. You've brought them to do damage. Most of the time, at least, I hope. And when you see an opening, even if you have to take some sacrifices, like we saw with, oh my god, Scotty Rar, if you need to take some sacrifices to get to some sort of ultimate purpose, by all means, go for it with your cavalry, because they are there to complement your main army and to make your main army's life a little bit easier. Anyway, thanks to everyone who submitted a replay for this episode. There were some replays that didn't make it just simply because they were a little bit too short, or maybe didn't give me many talking points. But again, thanks everyone to all of the submissions. Remember to submit more replays for next week's topic, which is the use of skirmish units. And this could be anything from Tosa Riflemen, from Imperial Cavalry, any sort of skirmishing action with extra range, and pulling back your units before a charge is welcome. I'll leave a links in the description below and probably make an update video later. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Let's Talk Total War, the Cavalry. I hope you guys come back for the next week where we will talk about skirmish units, hopefully. Keep those replays coming. This is Game Reducer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.